I'll be working on home designs and looking at references from 3,000 years ago and reading.
I just feel like, yo, this whole super...
Kanye West, now legally known as Ye, has never been a stranger to controversy. But in recent months, his words have shaken the internet with a force few celebrities can rival. From fiery live streams about his custody battle with Kim Kardashian to provocative declarations aligning himself with dangerous ideologies, Ye has once again managed to dominate headlines and divide public opinion. His statements aren't just throwaway remarks. They're viral explosions, sparking debates across social media, drawing rebukes from global organizations, and even leading to ruptured business ties. What makes this moment different is the sheer scope and impact of his outbursts. In one breath, Ye appeals to world figures like Elon Musk and Donald Trump for support. In the next, he lashes out against media giants and accuses powerful institutions of conspiring against him. The intensity of these revelations, delivered unfiltered through live streams and social media, leaves fans and critics alike asking the same question. Where is the line between raw self-expression and dangerous rhetoric? As his words spread, they don't just ripple, they detonate. Every post, every live stream, every lyric fuels the narrative of an artist both admired and condemned, a man whose genius is often entangled with chaos. And so, the world watches closely, not just to witness another headline, but to understand the deeper story unfolding, a story of fame, freedom, and the perilous cost of being unfiltered in the digital age. But perhaps the most personal and most explosive of Kanye West's recent statements came in the form of a furious livestream, where the rapper unleashed his frustrations over his custody battle with ex-wife Kim Kardashian. In this raw and unfiltered broadcast, he claimed that his parental rights had been systematically stripped away. He spoke of being denied the chance to make decisions about his children's upbringing, accusing not just Kim, but what he called the Kardashian mob, of orchestrating a system that kept him at a distance. It wasn't just Kim in his crosshairs. He expanded his accusations to media giants like Disney and Hulu, alleging that his children were being used for influence, pawns in a larger game of power and branding. His words were heavy, his tone unrestrained, and the anger in his voice underscored the depth of his discontent. For many, it was more than just a celebrity dispute. It was a father crying out against forces he believed were bigger than himself. What made the rant especially gripping was its immediacy. There was no polished press release, no carefully curated interview, just Kanye, live, unedited, his emotions boiling over. He appealed directly to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, figures he seemed to believe could intervene or at least amplify his struggle. In that moment, his battle wasn't confined to the courts. It was playing out in real time before millions of online viewers. The reaction was immediate and polarizing. Some sympathized, seeing in Ye the anguish of a father desperate to remain present in his children's lives. Others condemned his approach, pointing to the profanity, the incendiary language, and the way personal grievances were turned into public spectacle. Still, whether one agreed with him or not, the rant laid bare the collision of family, fame, and power in the digital age. And just like his other statements, this wasn't merely a passing headline. It was a viral flashpoint, igniting debates about fatherhood, celebrity culture, and the limits of privacy when life is lived under a constant spotlight. Yet if the custody battle exposed Kanye's raw pain as a father, his next series of statements ignited a storm far more dangerous. In late 2024 and into 2025, Ye began making deeply troubling remarks that reverberated far beyond the world of celebrity gossip. In interviews, posts, and even in his music, he openly declared admiration for Adolf Hitler, referred to himself as a Nazi, and flaunted imagery associated with some of history's darkest chapters. What began as shocking one-off comments quickly evolved into a pattern of rhetoric that stunned even his most loyal fans. The statements weren't veiled or symbolic. They were blunt, unapologetic, and at times celebratory of ideologies that the world had long condemned. Songs like WW3 carried disturbing references to Hitler and Nazi symbolism, while social media posts amplified his stance without remorse. For many, this was not simply a case of a provocative artist pushing boundaries. This was hate speech, laid bare for millions to see. The fallout was swift. Talent agencies dropped him, streaming platforms faced immense pressure to remove or restrict his content, and brands once eager to cash in on the Yeezy empire distanced themselves entirely. Civil rights organizations condemned the remarks, while fellow artists and public figures called him out for crossing a line from free expression into incitement. The consequences were not just reputational, but financial, as lucrative deals evaporated overnight. Still, Kanye appeared undeterred. Each backlash seemed only to fuel his defiance, as if every condemnation confirmed his sense of being targeted or silenced. In his mind, he wasn't just an artist. He was a martyr for truth, no matter how offensive or destructive that truth appeared to others. The controversy raised questions that linger to this day. Was this the voice of an unhinged provocateur seeking attention, or the unraveling of a cultural icon whose influence had once reshaped music and fashion? In the glare of the digital age, these anti-Semitic rants were not just words. They became global shockwaves, a cultural reckoning about the power of celebrity speech, the responsibility of platforms, and the fragile line between artistic rebellion and dangerous extremism. As if the custody battle and anti-Semitic rants weren't enough, Kanye West continued to ignite the internet with a string of late-night social media sprees. These weren't carefully crafted statements. They were chaotic, unfiltered bursts of thought that blurred the line between confession, accusation, and spectacle. In one particularly infamous episode, Ye fired off posts accusing global pop icons like Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, and Harry Styles of shocking and graphic behavior, claims that were as sensational as they were unverified. The posts read less like public statements and more like fragments of a diary cracked open for the world to see. Some were laced with apologies, others with insults, and many carried an intensity that left followers unsure whether they were witnessing performance art, a cry for help, or a calculated play for attention. For fans, the feed became addictive. Each refresh promised another revelation, another bombshell, another twist in the saga of Ye. But these outbursts carried consequences. Beyond the viral entertainment value, they sparked outrage, defamation concerns, and waves of criticism from fellow celebrities. Many wondered about the toll of such unchecked expression, not only on Kanye's reputation, but also on those caught in the crossfire of his accusations. At times, even loyal supporters admitted discomfort, acknowledging that while Ye had always thrived on pushing boundaries, this new era felt darker, more erratic, and dangerously personal. What made it all the more explosive was the speed of the internet itself. Within minutes, screenshots of his words spread across platforms, analyzed, dissected, and memified by millions. Each rant became a cultural moment, not just in the music industry, but in global conversations about mental health, fame, and the thin line between transparency and self-destruction. In the end, these social media storms became part of the Ye mythology, a constant cycle of shock, backlash, and fascination. Whether viewed as reckless oversharing or radical authenticity, they ensured one thing: Kanye West remained impossible to ignore, his voice echoing louder in controversy than in music. When the dust settles around each of Kanye West's outbursts, one truth becomes clear: the ripple effects reach far beyond social media headlines. Every rant, every shocking statement, every live stream has chipped away at the legacy of an artist once hailed as a generational genius. What began as controversies that could be dismissed as Ye just being Ye has now transformed into something much heavier, a pattern that reshapes how the world perceives him. The impact on his career has been undeniable. Corporate partnerships once worth billions have dissolved. Music industry gatekeepers now hesitate to collaborate, and even fans who once defended him find themselves questioning their loyalty. His brand, once synonymous with innovation and boldness, has become entangled with scandal, instability, and unpredictability. The stage where Kanye once commanded respect for his artistry is now often overshadowed by the chaos of his words. And yet, paradoxically, these same controversies have kept him at the center of global attention. For every critic who turns away, there are millions who tune in, drawn by the spectacle, the unpredictability, the chance to witness the next viral moment in real time. In a world where attention is the most valuable currency, Kanye West remains one of its wealthiest holders, not in dollars, but in sheer visibility. But the question lingers: at what cost? The artist who once revolutionized hip-hop and fashion now risks being remembered less for his art and more for his controversies. His journey highlights the fragility of fame in the digital age, where one live stream, one post, or one lyric can redefine a career overnight. Kanye West's story is not just about music or celebrity. It is about the power and peril of unfiltered expression in a world that never stops watching. It is a reminder that genius and chaos often walk hand in hand, and when broadcast to millions, the line between the two can become dangerously thin. And so, Kanye West's journey leaves us with more questions than answers. Is he a visionary whose unfiltered honesty exposes uncomfortable truths? Or has he become a cautionary tale of fame spiraling into chaos? From explosive custody rants to anti-Semitic declarations and late-night social media storms, one thing is undeniable. Ye has mastered the art of keeping the world's eyes locked on him. But what does this mean for his future? Will his music and creativity reclaim the spotlight, or will controversy continue to define his legacy? That's the story still being written, one post, one live stream, one headline at a time. Thank you for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the moments shaping our culture. And let me know in the comments, is Kanye West still a genius ahead of his time, or has he gone too far? Until next time, stay tuned and stay questioning.